Every man who ever achieved greatness first walked through the valley of struggle. Look closely at the lives of the most successful, and you will find scars, scars of rejection, loss, failure, and pain. Yet those scars are not signs of defeat, they are proof of endurance. They are reminders that obstacles are not placed in our path to stop us, but to shape us into the kind of person capable of holding success without being crushed by it. When you encounter a wall, most men will stop, complain, or turn back. But the uncommon man sees that wall as an invitation to climb higher, to dig deeper, to discover the strength he never knew he had. The truth is this: your obstacle is your training ground. The difficulties you face today are chiseling away your weakness, polishing your character, and preparing you for opportunities far greater than you can yet imagine. Consider this: a diamond is nothing but carbon until it is pressed under unimaginable heat and pressure. Without pressure, it remains worthless. Without struggle, it never shines. So too with you. Without the resistance of life, you remain ordinary. With it, you are refined into greatness. Do not curse your hardships. Do not run from your trials. Do not believe for a single moment that the obstacle is the end of your journey. Instead, look it in the eye and say, "You are not my enemy. You are my teacher. You are not here to stop me. You are here to make me unstoppable." Remember, the road to triumph is paved with setbacks. Every problem is a lesson, every failure a stepping stone, and every hardship a hidden blessing. The only true defeat is to quit. If you refuse to give up, every obstacle will eventually reveal itself as the very thing that made you strong enough to win. Never give up, for the obstacle before you is not a wall, it is a bridge to your greatness. My friends, every achievement begins not with action, not with talent, not even with opportunity. It begins with desire. Desire is the spark that ignites the engine of the human soul. Without it, nothing moves. Without it, every plan collapses. But with desire, mountains crumble, oceans part, and impossibilities bend to your will. Failure does not destroy a man. The absence of desire does. When the flame of desire burns brightly within you, failure is nothing but fuel, an energy that drives you forward. But when desire is weak, the smallest setback extinguishes your hope. A man without desire quits at the first obstacle, but a man with burning desire cannot be stopped, because the fire within him is greater than the storm around him. Think for a moment about the great builders of history, the inventors, the pioneers, the leaders who transformed the world. They were not born with a guarantee of success. They were not handed perfect conditions. They were driven by an inner flame so intense that no rejection, no ridicule, and no defeat could put it out. Desire made them unstoppable. When Thomas Edison was told that his countless experiments were failures, he responded, "I have not failed. I have discovered thousands of ways that will not work." Why did he not quit? Because his desire to bring light to the world burned brighter than the darkness of defeat. That same force is within you now. The only question is, will you fan the flame of desire until it consumes every doubt, or will you let the winds of difficulty blow it out? Desire is not a wish. Wishes are weak, passing thoughts that fade with the morning sun. Desire is a burning obsession that refuses to leave you, that keeps you awake at night and wakes you up early in the morning. A wish says, "It would be nice." Desire says, "I must have it, and I will not rest until I do." A wish bends to obstacles. Desire bends obstacles to its will. And here is a truth many overlook: desire must be fed daily, or it dies. You must remind yourself constantly of what you want and why you want it. Read it, speak it, write it, visualize it. Do whatever it takes to keep the fire alive. A starving desire becomes a dying dream. A nourished desire becomes an unstoppable destiny. Do not let the world convince you to shrink your desires. Small dreams produce small results. If your desire does not scare you, it is not big enough. Aim higher than your circumstances, think bigger than your environment, and believe deeper than your doubts. The size of your desire determines the size of your achievement. But hear me clearly: desire alone is not enough. Desire without action is a blazing fire locked in a cage. It burns brightly for a moment, but eventually suffocates. True desire expresses itself through relentless action, through persistence, through the refusal to stop until victory is achieved. The man who truly desires success proves it by his willingness to pay the price for it. And when you are tested, and you will be tested, remember this: trials are not signs that you should quit. They are opportunities for you to prove the strength of your desire. The universe asks you, do you really want this? And your answer must not be words. It must be action. Every time you choose to rise instead of quit, you declare your desire is stronger than defeat. So, feed your desire. Guard it like a treasure. Protect it from the voices of doubt, from the poison of fear, from the mediocrity of those who settled for less. Let it burn so brightly that nothing can extinguish it. Let it be the compass that directs your steps, the engine that drives your work, the shield that protects your spirit. Because in the end, my friends, desire is the difference between those who wish and those who win. It is the fire that consumes every failure, the force that transforms ordinary men into legends, and the secret that keeps you moving when others have stopped. Never give up, because if you guard your desire and let it burn, it will turn every defeat into determination and every setback into fuel. With desire alive in your heart, nothing, not rejection, not failure, not even time itself, can keep you from your destiny. My friends, persistence is the iron law of success. Talent may sparkle for a season, luck may shine for a moment, but only persistence guarantees triumph in the end. Many men begin with excitement, but only a few finish with victory. Why? Because persistence is rare. The world is filled with starters, but starved of finishers. The difference between the two is this: one gives up when the road grows rough. The other presses on until the road bends to his will. Persistence is more than stubbornness. Stubbornness clings to weakness. Persistence clings to purpose. Stubbornness refuses to change. Persistence refuses to quit. It is the quiet force that whispers in your ear when the world shouts, impossible. It is the steady hand that keeps you moving forward when every part of you etches to stop. History does not celebrate those who quit. It forgets them. But it honors the ones who persisted when defeat seemed certain. Think of Abraham Lincoln, who lost election after election, faced financial ruin, endured personal tragedy, and yet persisted until he became one of the greatest leaders the world has known. His secret was not that he never failed, but that he never surrendered to failure. This is the law: defeat is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. Every setback you face is only a test, asking you a single question: how much do you truly want it? And every time you persist, every time you rise after being knocked down, you are answering more than anything. That answer changes everything, for persistence has the power to turn even defeat into victory. You see, persistence is like water cutting through stone. A single drop does nothing, but repeated drops falling day after day will carve through the hardest rock. The stone cannot resist persistence, and neither can failure resist a determined soul. Obstacles may slow you, delay you, and exhaust you, but they cannot stop you if you persist. But here lies the trap: most people quit not at the beginning of the journey, but just before the breakthrough. They give up one step before success. They surrender one moment before the tide was about to turn in their favor. They fall because they did not understand that persistence requires not only effort, but endurance. To persist means to keep walking, even when your feet are bleeding. To persist means to fight, even when your strength is gone. To persist means to believe, even when evidence says otherwise. Let me remind you, persistence does not demand perfection. You will stumble, you will fall, you will make mistakes. But persistence demands you rise again, stronger than before. It demands that you learn from failure, that you adjust, that you keep moving forward no matter how slow. Progress is persistence in motion. Victory is persistence fulfilled. And here is the hidden reward of persistence: it changes you. Every time you persist, your willpower grows. Every time you refuse to quit, your character strengthens. Every time you keep going when it would be easier to give up, you transform into the kind of person who deserves success. Persistence not only leads you to the prize, it prepares you to hold it, Do not envy the man who gains success quickly. Envy the man who persists, because his success will last. Quick victories are easily lost, but the victories won through persistence are deeply rooted and unshakable. The storms of life cannot uproot what persistence has planted. So when defeat comes, and it will come, do not surrender, and it will visit. Do not bow your head. When the voice of doubt screams, "It is over," answer back with persistence. "It is not over until I win." For the man who persists cannot be defeated. He may be delayed, but he cannot be denied. My friends, persistence is the bridge between desire and destiny, between vision and victory, between failure and fulfillment. Without it, dreams remain dreams. With it, dreams become reality. Never give up, for persistence is the golden key that unlocks every door, breaks every chain, and transforms every defeat into the very path of your victory. My friends, there comes a moment in every man's life when the path ahead is clouded, when the evidence of success is nowhere to be seen, and when the voices of doubt grow louder than the whispers of hope. It is in that very moment that faith becomes the most powerful weapon you possess. Faith is more than belief. Belief is passive, faith is active. Belief says, "I think it might be possible." Faith says, "It is mine already, though the world cannot see it yet." Belief wavers in the storm. Faith walks boldly through the lightning. Belief is of the mind, but faith is of the spirit. And when the spirit is unshaken, nothing in this world can stop it. Understand this truth: all great achievements are first born in the invisible realm of faith before they ever appear in the visible realm of reality. The seed of the oak tree cannot see the towering giant it will become, yet it grows because it trusts the law of life. In the same way, your dreams may be invisible to the world, but faith allows you to act as if they are already yours. Without faith, desire withers. Without faith, persistence collapses. Without faith, defeat becomes permanent. But with faith, a man can endure what others cannot endure, believe what others cannot believe, and accomplish what others call impossible. Faith is the silent force that turns fear into courage and transforms ordinary men into extraordinary leaders. Think of the great inventors, the pioneers, the dreamers who were laughed at, ridiculed, and told their visions were foolish. They pressed on because faith told them something the world could not understand. What I see in my mind is more real than the rejection I face. What I know in my spirit is greater than the doubt in your voice. That is the power of faith. It does not require the approval of others. It requires only the conviction of the believer. Faith is not blind. It sees farther than the eye. The eyes can only see what is. Faith sees what will be. The eyes see the obstacle. Faith sees the way through it. The eyes see failure. Faith sees the hidden lesson that leads to victory. The eyes see the present struggle. A faith sees the future crown. And here lies a great secret: faith and fear cannot live together. Where faith enters, fear must flee. When faith takes hold of your heart, you no longer tremble before circumstances. You command them. The man of faith does not wait for proof. He becomes the proof by acting with boldness when others hesitate. But hear me clearly: faith without action is nothing more than fantasy. You must move in the direction of your faith, even when the road is dark. The farmer who has faith in the harvest plants the seed, even though he cannot yet see the crop. So must you plant the seeds of action, trusting that your efforts will bear fruit in time. Faith without works is a dream without wings. It cannot fly. And know this: faith will always be tested. The storms of life will press against you, the voices of doubt will surround you, and the evidence of success will seem to vanish. This is not a sign to quit. This is the proving ground of your faith. Only those who hold fast, who walk by faith and not by sight, discover the treasures hidden within their trials. Faith is your compass when the map fails. Faith is your shield when arrows fly. Faith is your ladder when the walls rise high. It does not remove obstacles, but it gives you the strength to climb them. It does not erase the storm, but it grants you the courage to walk through it. So when the night is dark and the way seems lost, lift your eyes to the unseen. Let faith whisper to you, this is not the end. This is the beginning of something greater than you can imagine. For in the end, my friends, faith is not merely a belief. It is a force, a creative power that pulls the invisible into the visible, the impossible into the possible, the future into the present. Never give up, for with faith in your heart, you carry a power greater than circumstance, greater than defeat, and greater than every obstacle standing before you. My friends, success is not promised to the swift, nor is it guaranteed to the strongest, nor even to the most talented. Victory belongs to one kind of man only, the man whose spirit refuses to yield. The unyielding spirit is the force that carries ordinary men beyond the limits of what seems possible. It is the invisible crown that only the persistent, the determined, the relentless earn. Life will strike you. It will push you down. It will test you again and again to see if you are worthy of the dream you carry inside. Most people surrender under that weight. They trade their vision for comfort, their destiny for ease, their potential for safety. But the man of an unyielding spirit does not bow. He may stumble, but he rises. He may bleed, but he fights on. He may bend under the storm, but he will not break. Understand this, the final measure of a man is not how many times he falls, but how many times he chooses to rise. A broken body can heal, a weary mind can recover, but a surrendered spirit never wins. The unyielding spirit says, "Strike me once, and I will rise twice as strong. Close the door on me, and I will find another way in. Tell me it is impossible, and I will prove you wrong." That, my friends, is the spirit of victory. Think of history's greatest achievements. They were never accomplished in comfort. They were not won by men who said, "I will try until it gets hard." No. Great victories were forged in the fire of trials, carried by men and women who declared, "I will not stop until I win." The world bows before such a spirit because it cannot outlast him. Adversity eventually tires. Doubt eventually weakens. Obstacles eventually crumble. But the unyielding spirit endures until victory is inevitable. Do not confuse unyielding spirit with arrogance. The arrogant man believes he cannot be defeated. The man of unyielding spirit knows he will be struck. He will be tested. He will be wounded. But he also knows he cannot be conquered because he refuses to surrender. When the battle rages long, when the night stretches endless, when your strength seems gone, this is the very place where most men give up. But the unyielding spirit digs deeper. It calls upon reserves hidden in the soul. It whispers, "One more step, one more strike, one more attempt," and it is always that one more day, one more push, one more refusal to quit, that separates defeat from victory. Let me remind you of this truth: your greatest breakthrough often lies just beyond your greatest trial. The moment when you feel you cannot go on, when quitting seems easier than continuing, that is the very edge of your victory. Those who stop there never taste success. Those who push forward discover that the crown was waiting just one step beyond their breaking point. The unyielding spirit cannot be bought. It cannot be taught. It must be chosen. Every day, in every struggle, you decide whether you will yield or endure. You decide whether the setback is a signal to quit or a command to rise. You decide whether the weight of adversity crushes you or strengthens you. Victory is not an accident. It is the reward of those who refuse to yield. And here is the greatest secret. Once you cultivate an unyielding spirit, nothing in this world can truly defeat you. You may lose battles, but you will win wars. You may face delays, but you will reach your destiny. You may walk through valleys, but you will climb to the summit. For the crown does not belong to the fastest nor the strongest. It belongs to the one who never, ever surrenders. So stand tall, even when the world tries to break you. Endure, even when your strength is gone. Believe, even when no evidence remains. Declare with your life, "I will not yield. I will not surrender. I will not stop until victory is mine." And never give up, for the crown of victory rests only upon the heads of those whose spirit cannot be broken, whose will cannot be bent, whose persistence cannot be silenced. Victory belongs forever to the unyielding spirit. My friends, you have heard the principles. You have seen the path. Obstacles will rise, but they are your stepping stones. Desire must burn, for it is the fire that fuels achievement. Persistence will carry you where talent and luck cannot. Faith will give you vision when your eyes see nothing but darkness. And above all, the unyielding spirit will crown you with victory when others have long surrendered. The world does not need more quitters. The world does not honor those who gave up when it was hard. It remembers only those who pressed forward, who fought one more round, who walked one more mile, who believed one more day when everyone else had lost hope. You have within you the same power, the same fire, the same unbreakable spirit that built empires, transformed lives, and shaped history. But it will only awaken when you make one decision. Never give up. Say it now within yourself. Say it with conviction. Say it until it becomes the very rhythm of your heart. I will never give up. I will never surrender. I will never stop until victory is mine. When you leave this place, let these words guide you. Let them rise in your mind when defeat whispers, when fear shouts, when doubt tries to chain you down. And remember, your breakthrough is often one step beyond your breaking point. So rise, fight, persist, believe, endure. For the crown of success, the triumph of destiny, the glory of victory belongs not to the gifted, not to the lucky, not to the strong, but to the one who simply refuses to quit. Never give up, for the man who never gives up cannot be defeated.